happening, y'all? Thanks for tuning in to MMANYC. I'm your host, Jody Smith, and as usually the case, I so happen to be as hungover as I have been for any of the previous episodes. But regardless, here's my partner in crime,
PJ Chu. Welcome back, MMA nerds.
We're going to do a little 127 UFC post-fight analysis, give you a rundown, give you some predictions for some upcoming fights. So without further ado, let's do this motherfucker.
Yeah, the main event, BJ Penn versus John Fitch. This was a very interesting match.
Penn had him, man. When Penn took him down, I was like, oh shit, I know Fitch wasn't expecting that.
I know. I just think everyone going in thought Fitch was going to win by decision. Everyone was saying Fitch by decision.
Right.
Fitch, he was going to grind, put him in the meat grinder. But I thought if Penn really worked on his takedown defense,
well, he did work on his takedown defense. I mean, Fitch was having problems with him in the rounds 1 and 2, but he gassed a little bit in the third, and that's when Fitch starts to come on. That's what he's always done. And as we had said, I mean, had that had been a 5-round fight, Fitch would have ended it because BJ, probably referee stoppage.
As usual, his cardio was in his way. But I think this is a new BJ Penn. I've never seen this BJ Penn where he's using strategy.
Yeah.
Like he's usually just coming out, just wanting to fight.
Sure.
You know, but he tried to take John Fitch down. He tried to use his game.
And he did take him down.
Yeah, and
rounds 1 and 2. And
just a note, if John Fitch gets taken down by BJ Penn, what's gonna happen when you face GSP? You know, I don't know.
Ouch. That's what's gonna happen. Where they go from here, it's really a hard call. Obviously, if GSP beats Jake Shields and goes up to fight Anderson Silva, it's possible that this rematch could be for like an interim welterweight, title, and then maybe GSP comes down and fights the winner of that. But GSP's already beaten BJ Penn, and he's beaten John Fitch, and if he beats Jake Shields, I don't know. We've got to see who else is coming in the welterweight division for GSP.
I totally agree, Jody. I don't think any of the fans want to see BJ Penn or John Fitch fight GSP again because GSP will own them.
Yeah.
And I think GSP, let's not look past Jake Shields, but if he beats Jake Shields, I think he should move up to middleweight for good and start challenging people there.
That's where you and I disagree. As amazing as GSP is, and I mean, hey, more power to him. If he can go up there and rule in the middleweight division, especially if he beats Anderson Silva, it'll be the biggest day. It'll be the biggest thing in MMA history, I think.
Do you want to put a bet down right now if that super fight happens? I'm taking GSP in that fight.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're betting against Anderson Silva?
I'm a big fan of the Spider, but I really think GSP will take him down.
$10.
$10? All right, it's on. But
all right.
It was a good fight, and I think BJ Penn and John Fitch are if GSP leaves, they are the #1 and #2 of the welterweight division.
Very possibly. Some tough dudes. For the next fight, we had our big, not-so-favorite Michael Bisping, the Count.
The Count.
Being a real prick after giving Jorge Rivera an illegal knee while he was down. Then he's like rooting, like cheering in the audience and shit. I'm like, dude, you need a guy in the face illegally and you're celebrating? Like, come on, man.
That's why he's the most hated man in MMA, because this guy, he's
big in England.
I don't even know. I think
they say he is.
I don't know. This guy is evil. I don't even think the English people like Bisping, but I was looking forward to this fight because Rivera made a lot of viral videos on YouTube making fun of Bisping.
He's a dick, he's a stupid dick, and the whole thing.
But I was hoping that Rivera was going to back this up, but obviously that wasn't the case.
The third fight, we're going to talk about George Sotiropoulos versus Dennis Seaver. Mr. Spinning back kicked a little fucking spark plug. He looks like the miniature version of Brock Lesnar almost, which is just weird.
He's definitely Brock Lesnar's mini-me.
He is. A little midget. A little bad motherfucker, though, man.
Yeah.
That was a great fight.
Oh, it was an awesome fight. I thought Sotiropoulos would win because he had the hometown crowd. He's from Australia. Right. This is the biggest fight of your life.
Yeah. Sotiropoulos was on a 7-fight win streak, I believe it was.
And I think he just choked.
Seaver's really good, man, and Seaver showed great takedown defense. His balance was great. His striking, he's really versatile, man. I'm a fan of the little dude, man. He's bad. I like him.
Yeah, he's strong, and he just doesn't give a f about anything. He's a Russian German,
Yeah.
Tough
bastard. Interesting to note that some of the undercard fights were actually, in a sense, a little more exciting than the main card fights in that there were finishes. There were actually 4 round 1 submission victories for Kyle Noki, Alexander Gustafsson, Taquan Zhang, and Anthony Perosh. And I'm excited about Alexander Gustafsson. I know he lost to Phil Davis, but hey, everyone else has, so there's no shame in that necessarily.
He's aight. My biggest, I think out of those 4 fights, I'm most impressed with the Chinese dude.
Of course you are.
Taekwon Zhang.
Imagine that.
The first Chinese fighter in the UFC, and his I'm more impressed with him because his submission, his guillotine. Did you see that guillotine?
Yeah.
He put the guy to sleep after he tabbed.
Right.
And he went to La La Land.
Right.
You know, so.
Well, all interesting of note that I think Jason Reinhardt was his name. He was 41 years old when he entered that fight. He didn't look it, man.
Yeah, I know, he looked pretty young.
He went to sleep like a 41-year-old.
He's got like the Randy Couture genes. I mean,
that's insane. It's been an interesting 2 or 3 weeks for injuries, actually. It all started with Rashad Evans getting injured, then Bones Jones stepping in to fight HOOO. From there, Phil Davis and Matt Hamill were supposed to face each other, but you had Thiago Silva fail a steroid test, had to back out of his fight with Rampage. Rashad Evans was initially talking about fighting that fight, didn't do it. Then they sent Matt Hamill to fight Rampage. So then Phil Davis didn't have anybody, and he was going to fight Jason Brills. But then when Tito Ortiz got injured, Phil Davis was put in Tito Ortiz's place to fight Little Nog. And now I believe Jason Brills is fighting Matt Yushchenko. So it's just like this crazy web of interconnected injuries and moving around chest parts and shit. It's fucking bizarre.
It is kind of nuts, but I think bottom line, everyone gets to see the fights they want to see.
Yeah.
Because at first I was like,
Rampage Hamill?
I want to see Rampage lay the smackdown on him. Because I don't know why. I'm not a hater, but
yeah, you are.
I'm not a hater.
He's deaf, man.
I know. I don't want to hate on anyone with a disability. He's got a great story, but. Come on.
But
you don't. How can you not like? How can you like Matt Hamill? That guy is just a human punching bag, you know. I want to see Rampage slam him, beat him down a little bit. Everyone wants to see Shogun Bones.
That's gonna be huge.
That's great. And Phil Davis, he needs to fight better competition. And
he does.
And Little Nog, Antonio Rogerio, is a great step in competition.
I definitely think so. Lil Nog definitely poses a stand-up threat to Phil Davis. And as far as the jiu-jitsu, obviously the Nogueira brothers are badasses with that. So Phil Davis has got his work cut out for him, but I think it's going to be good to actually see him step up in competition.
And I'm thinking that this is going to be his stepping stone to the big time, because I think Phil Davis is going to lay the smackdown on Rogerio. The next
UFC event that we're going to talk about, I guess, would be just some of the predictions for UFC Fight Night with Sanchez and Campman. And I gotta say, man, I know you hate it that I've recently rekindled my feelings for Diego Sanchez. I used to kind of hate him, but I gotta say, I was impressed with him against Paulo Thiago, and Martin Campman is gonna be a really strong match against him. It's gonna be a good fight, I think.
Again, Jody, I'm still boggled with your new man crush on Diego Sanchez after hating on him so badly on our earlier shows.
Yeah, I can't even explain it.
It's weird. It's weird, really
bizarre.
weird to me. But I'll always sorry, Diego. I'll always hate you.
Who you got in the fight?
Of course, Martin Campman.
Okay,
I mean,
decision.
I'm not even biased. I think he rings Diego's bell.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
you can pick him apart. I think with a
I don't think with a straight knockout, but I see a TKO coming.
Also on that bill, we've got CB Dalloway versus Mark Munoz. I got CB Dalloway in that one after that crazy alligator rolling grappling match that he had with Joe Dirksen.
I'm going with Mark Munoz only because he's the Filipino assassin, and I guess he's technically a little bit Asian.
Yeah.
And also,
that's reason enough.
I don't like
sound judgment.
And I don't like CB Dalloway.
That's what it really comes down to.
And I don't like CB Dalloway's face. I don't know why. Just something about that face just.
One of the more exciting fights really on that whole card, aside from the Campman Sanchez, is going to be the return of Brian Bowles fighting Damasio Page.
I think we're both on the same page when it comes to Brian Bowles being. He was a very exciting fighter before he got injured.
Before he broke his hand, yeah.
But I think he's a tougher version of Dominic Cruz. I mean, Dominic Cruz beat him.
Right.
But he's got a lot. Bowles got a lot of punching power.
Yeah, he does. For a little man, he's a bad dude. Definitely looking forward to that. Also, let's talk about some UFC 128 predictions, man.
Oh well, what's the big fight on that card? Bones Jones versus
Jesus Louises.
Shogun Mauricio HOOO.
Yes, indeed.
Who do you got?
I'm pulling for HOOO, although you know, it's a title fight, so it's a 5-round fight. If it goes to a decision, it could come down to a cardio thing. HOOO's cardio may not be what Jones's is. Jones is 23 years old. I mean, you know, HOOO's only like 28 or 29, I believe.
That's a very interesting view on it. I don't think it's going to go the distance. I think someone's getting knocked out before the 3rd round, and I think Shogun's. It's a tough fight for Bones. Don't get me wrong, but I think he knocks out HOOO.
Really?
Sometime within the first
ground and pound referee stoppage style?
I think with a TKO type of maybe. I think more no ground and pound. I think they're gonna strike.
Right.
And I think maybe catch him with a spinning elbow.
Oh shit!
Spinning elbow knockout.
You heard it. You heard it.
You heard it here first.
Uriah Faber versus Eddie Whelan. You know, I'm not too sure about Eddie Whelan, but I do know Uriah Faber's bad at 135. So. And everyone wants to see him fight Dominic Cruz. So I want Uriah Faber to win because I want him to fight Dominic Cruz. The end. Yeah,
I think Faber's gonna win this one. Faber made a quote recently saying he's already talking smack about Dominic Cruz. He said Dominic Cruz is elusive, but himself, Faber, is elusive and dangerous. And I think I agree with that statement.
I would say so too. Also on the fight, we've got Jim Miller versus Kamal Shloris. The Prince of Persia, I believe, is Kamal Shloris' name, which is fucking bizarre. I'd like to see Jim Miller grind it out. That could end up being a boring fight because I feel like almost that wrestling style. You know, Jim Miller might end up submitting him, very possibly.
Yeah,
they're both tough-nosed fucking wrestlers, you know.
Maybe I'm going with Kamal.
Are you?
I'll take Kamal on this one. Yeah.
The Prince of Persia, huh?
Yeah.
Jesus. Also, Nate Marquardt versus fucking Sexy Yama. I want to see Nate Marquardt back up in the middleweight division, so I'm pulling for him, and I think he can outstrike and just outlast Sexy Yama, I would think.
I think Sexy Yama learns from his last fight, works on his cardio, and takes Nate Marquardt out.
We've got Crow Cop versus Brandon Schaub, and I can only assume that after Brandon Schaub beats Crow Cop, that Crow Cop's it'll be his last fight in UFC.
I agree with you. I think,
Jesus, how many fights does he have to lose? He's like Tito Ortiz, man. Fuck.
Yeah, Mirko, you know, you had your day, you know, your heyday in Pride.
Absolutely.
Now it's for the new fighters. It's an easy fight for Schwab.
I think so too. Cool, and now for a new segment of our show, we're actually gonna pick the top 5 douchebags in all of MMA. And I guess PJ, take it away, man.
Well, number 1 on my list got to be Michael the Count Bisping.
Yeah.
I mean, this guy's, he's just a jerk. You know?
Who are your 2, 3, 4, and 5 picks?
2 would be Michael Bisping.
Okay.
3, what's his face? Michael Bisping.
Oh, right.
Number 4, Michael Bisping.
Right.
And number 5, Michael the Count Bisping.
I gotta say, with maybe throwing in an honorable mention of maybe Paul Kelly, Brock Lesnar, maybe Koscheck. You know, I gotta say, Bisping might be my numbers 1 through 5 top douchebag list as well, which is amazing. Congratulations, Bisping.
Yeah, you're a dick.
All right, folks, that about does it for today's show. Thanks for tuning in. Be looking for us on YouTube until we get the website up and running at MMANYC.net. And be looking for us after every UFC pay-per-view event. Let's go!
Adios.